long time ago, nestled in the heart of a quiet and humble village, lived a young woman named Lily. Known by every villager far and wide, Lily wasn't famed for her beauty or her talents, but rather for her impatience. She was always in a hurry, constantly chasing after her goals with relentless urgency. Whether it was completing chores, learning a new skill, or dreaming up grand ambitions, Lily wanted everything now. Waiting, for her, felt like wasted time. She believed success should arrive as swiftly as the wind changes direction. One sunny afternoon, while strolling down a dirt path that wound through the village's center, Lily noticed something, or rather, someone, she hadn't seen before. Beneath the wide and generous shade of a magnificent peach tree, there sat an old man. His beard was silver like moonlight, and his eyes glistened with a calm that only comes from years of deep understanding. He sat there silently, with an air of peace that felt almost magical. Something about him drew Lily in. Perhaps it was the serenity that surrounded him like an invisible aura. Curious, she approached him with hesitant steps. "Excuse me, sir," she began, her voice laced with genuine interest. "I couldn't help but notice how calm you look. You seem so at peace. Tell me, how do you stay so composed and patient?" The old man smiled warmly, a kind of smile that felt like the sun gently rising over a sleepy field. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he extended a hand toward the peach tree standing tall beside him. "My dear child," he said, his voice as soft as the rustling leaves, "I've learned the value of patience from this very tree." Lily's eyes narrowed slightly as she looked up at the tree, her brow furrowed in confusion. "From a tree? What do you mean?" With a gentle gesture, the old man invited Lily to sit beside him, and she obliged, settling down on the cool grass beneath the tree's sheltering branches. The old man took a moment, then began a tale that seemed etched deep into the folds of his memory. "Many years ago," he said, "this peach tree was no more than a fragile sapling. Planted by a young farmer with a heart full of hope, the farmer had dreams, simple yet grand, to someday harvest the sweetest, juiciest peaches that the earth could offer. Every single day, without fail, he came to water the tree. He cared for it, tenderly, whispering to it with affection and watching eagerly for signs of growth. But as the days turned into weeks, and weeks stretched into months, the tree remained barren. Not a single fruit, not even a blossom." He paused, allowing the silence to let the story sink in, his eyes studying Lily's expression. "Now, a less patient man might have walked away," the old man continued, "might have said, 'This tree is useless,' and left it to wither. But not this farmer. He continued to care for it, watering it through the dry spells, shielding it during storms, and believing in its promise. And then, after many seasons passed, after the farmer had nearly forgotten to expect anything in return, the tree blossomed. And not just any blossoms, but ones that bore the most fragrant, golden peaches the village had ever seen." Lily sat silently, mesmerized by the tale. Her usual restlessness faded into stillness, replaced by something new, curiosity and wonder. "You see, Lily," the old man said, leaning a little closer, "patience is like nurturing a tree. You don't plant a seed today and expect fruit tomorrow. It takes effort, time, and most of all, faith." The farmer never stopped tending to the tree, even when there were no visible signs of progress. He trusted the process, and in the end, he was rewarded. The wind stirred softly through the leaves as Lily absorbed his words. She glanced again at the peach tree, now understanding that its beauty was not simply in its shade or fruit, but in the story it carried. In that moment, something shifted within her. She felt a stillness she had never known before, a sense of calm that spread through her chest like the warmth of sunlight after a storm. She realized the old man's story wasn't just about the tree or the farm. It was about life, about her. From that day onward, Lily chose a different path. No longer did she rush toward every goal as though time was running out. She began to slow down, to breathe deeper, to embrace each step of the journey rather than focusing solely on the destination. She learned to appreciate the small victories, to savor moments of stillness, and most importantly, to have faith that her efforts, though slow to ripen, would eventually bear fruit every season. She would return to that same peach tree, watching it blossom again and again, its branches heavy with sweet peaches, and each time she stood beneath its shade, she was reminded of the quiet wisdom the old man had shared, the lesson that changed her life. For Lily had discovered that patience is not just a virtue to be admired from afar, it is a power, a strength, a force that can transform dreams into reality, not overnight, but in their own beautiful time. And from then on, whenever impatience threatened to rise within her, she would close her eyes, think of the peach tree, and smile, knowing that every dream worth having is also worth waiting for.